YouTube, welcome back to the garage. And we got a little bit of a surprise today. Look at what I got sitting around the corner. The engine is back, and I have to say the guys over at HBR did a knockout job on this. It is balanced, it is blueprinted, the camshaft is degreed in, the heads are ported and polished, it is decked. It raised the compression just a little tiny bit. It's at 11, basically 11 to 1 is about where it's at right now. So if you want to get technical, it's 11.03 to 1. And I'll upload some of the data sheets, some of the before and after balancing specs as well as the engine specs, so you can see what was all done internally. One of the things I always recommend doing on these aluminum blocks, and honestly doing it on any block, is before you start putting bolts and things in, take yourself an air blower and blow out the bolt holes. Reason we do that is if there's oil or water down in there from the cleaning process or anything like that, you can't compress liquid. And what'll happen is you'll go putting a bolt in there, tightening it down, and you'll end up cracking an engine block. Or just gonna get a couple of bolts started to hold it in place. My gaskets are already on the back side of the water pump. These gaskets have O-rings around all the ports in them, so they seal up real nice. But one of the things I like to do personally, I put a dab of silicone right in the middle of that metal gasket, and it just holds it in place while I'm getting everything lined up. So now that the water pump and the flywheel are all done, later on this week, most likely this weekend, we're going to be getting the engine set into the front cradle here. Thing going on is the accessory bracket that's got your power steering reservoir, holds your alternator. So I need to start getting that put on. That's never a fun one because it's got to go in a pretty certain sequence of bolts, otherwise it's going to take it all over and start again. So you get these holes blown out. Definitely not the bolt, but I think I found the bolt. Let's try that. All right, so the engine's in the cradle, that's all bolted in. Got the accessory drive put on, power steering, pump pulleys put on there. But there's one thing I want to do, and I want to show you guys that's pretty important on these serpentine systems, or the serpentine belts. And that involves using one of these. This is a laser alignment tool to assure that your serpentine belt is lined up on your pulleys, because if you're one groove off, you're going to eat up a lot of belts. All right, so here's the DRIVELINE laser. What I did was you put it on a pulley and you go one groove over, okay? So for a 6-groove belt, what that does is this puts it right smack in the middle. And you can see that hole there, that's actually there for a strap so you can strap it onto the pulley, but that falls dead right on top of the number 3 groove, okay? And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna click this on, hopefully. Yep, there's the laser. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rotate this down, and hopefully you will see it show up. And you'll see on the harmonic balancer, it is sitting right on top of the number 3. So by a stroke of luck, this thing is perfectly lined up. So if you don't have one of these, I would suggest picking one up. One belt will cost you what this tool will cost. And unfortunately, I've gone through plenty of belts trying to do it manually. It doesn't work on serpentine belts. Alright, so this is where I'm gonna call it a night. Spent about 3 hours working on this. It's about 5 minutes to 8. So accessories all done, you all saw that. Got the AC all back on here, the belt's back on, the tensioner's back on. Engine mounts are all done. That's really about it. As always, if you liked the video, give us one of those, share it with your buddies, subscribe to the channel. I promise I'll get better at this. I'm still a newbie, give a guy a frickin' break. Alright, we got the Pro Charger mounted now. I even got the belt all put in there. The reason I didn't film that is because it's generally followed by a lot of 4-letter words. So if there's any kids watching, that's why I didn't bother to film it. Alright peoples, it is Friday night. Got the blower mounted, belt put on, and I'm just about ready to start mating up the torque tube to the rear of the engine here. Hopefully get this done tonight. I'm doing it by myself, so we'll see how well that goes. And so basically, to put this back together, what I've done is I put a rolling jack underneath it with a big piece of wood to jack it up or jack it down, and I can change the angle of the drive line so I get it to go those splines to mate up. But pretty much the same process as taking it apart, so I don't know that I really need to go filming that. This is probably going to be followed by a lot of curse words as well, so I'm probably not going to film it, but all I got to do is get this shoved forward, put the coupler bolt in, put the dust covers back on, and I'll be done with this part of it. The next video is probably going to be getting this engine back up inside the chassis here. So that'll be the next video. So until next time, stay safe, don't go catching the Rona, and we'll see you on the next video.